Hi everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to talk about the adrenal gland and how that affects blood pressure, blood sugar, your immune system, bipolar disease, anxiety, hormones. I'm Linda. I'm a certified naturopathic doctor and I teach people the truth about what it takes for the body to heal. I don't give gimmicks. I'm like a mother and I teach you the truth, whether you like it or not. So healing the body is simple. However, there's a lot of misconceptions out there and a lot of false information and gimmicks that people are promoting that lead you astray. So I'm here to help you. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Push that like button and put subscribe and get some dings in there. And if you have any questions or comments, please put them in the section below. Your health is more than a vitamin or mineral deficiency, and everything works together. So today we're going to talk about the adrenal glands. So let's get right into that subject, okay? Like we said, the adrenal glands are involved in so many things. They're involved in your stress response. They're involved in both low and high blood pressure. They create steroids, the metabolism of nutrients, and they sit on top of the kidneys. So they are involved in the kidney function and how well. Since they are connected, they sit right on top of them. They are connected, okay? So everything works together and your adrenal glands support the function of your kidneys. They're involved in sugar metabolism and the metabolism of minerals. So they make hormones and they are involved in an inflammatory response. So the things that you have to remember is no matter what you're looking at as far as the body is concerned, you are made of trillions of cells and two fluids, okay? Whether it be your adrenal gland cells, your heart cells, your blood vessel cells, your skin cells, whatever it is, they have specialized cells for each portion. However, blood feeds it, and your lymph system is like your sewer system. So as your body is metabolizing and trying to get rid of things, your lymph system involved in your immune system, but is also involved in flushing out the acids that your body uses. It's like your sewer system. So, and all your little lymph nodes are like your septic tanks. So you do not want to remove your septic tanks from your body. That's when people get lymphedema. Like I had one client who had that C word, right? And she had gone through the normal treatments through allopathy, but it returned. But she had already had a breast removed and lymph nodes removed. Well, she was having to roll her arm up on a daily basis because the water retention in her arm was swelling and painful because she had removed those lymph nodes and the water could not drain. So anytime you remove any part of your body, something is going to suffer. So your best bet is to reverse what has happened in the body by eating good food, your raw fruits and vegetables, okay, mainly fruits. Fruits are your highest energy. And removing those processed foods, those high protein diets, those kinds of things that create these acids that tear down the body. So those are the basics, and your kidneys are involved in filtering out the lymphatic waste. And like I said, your adrenal glands sit on top of your kidneys and they help to regulate the kidneys. with adrenal glands being involved in metabolizing minerals and nutrients in our body, they metabolize sugars. So when you sit on top, they sit on top of your kidneys. Your kidneys are also involved in your potassium and your sodium regulation. So everything works together, okay? High and low blood pressure. So usually when your adrenal glands are very tired and need a lot of support, you have low blood pressure. Low blood pressure will eventually become high blood pressure. So either one of those can be a sign that your adrenal glands are affected. For instance, if you have a tendency to get high blood pressure when you're stressed, okay, well, your adrenal glands put out cortisol. Cortisol will raise your blood pressure. That will also raise your blood sugar. Low blood pressure could be that you don't have enough energy to make the adrenaline that creates a good heartbeat, good blood flow, okay? Your adrenal glands are involved in blood sugar metabolism. Like I said earlier, your adrenal glands make steroids that are involved in metabolizing different minerals and things. So instead of thinking about what am I deficient in, let's look at why am I deficient in certain vitamins or minerals. And the answer is not to become a chemist and try to figure out every little deficiency and what you need to take. Because when you take isolated ingredients like that, it is going to counter another ingredient. So like I've used this before, calcium. If you take calcium, it will lower your magnesium. If you take magnesium, it will lower your calcium levels. And you want those to be in balance. So you always want to take, if you're taking supplements, you want it to be from a food or a herb source, okay? No. Your adrenal glands are also involved in creating, adrenaline. So when your adrenaline raises, your body creates cortisol. Cortisol is related to blood sugar. You know, they always say that when your blood sugar is high, you end up having heart problems too. So they always seem to go together, and I believe that your adrenal glands are one huge connection about that. Your adrenal glands metabolize your B vitamins, and your B vitamins are very much involved in how you handle sugar regulation. Okay, stress hormone, adrenaline, cortisol. Let's talk about the bipolar. Personally, I'm a Christian, and I believe that we can't separate our spiritual life from our physical life, that they work together. So I'm going to say that if you have a high stress life, if you're having bipolar or anxiety and things like that, it's always the first thing is to look at spirituality. And are you trusting the Lord? But having said that, I'm not here for that, to be a preacher to you. I'm here to teach you the physical part of it, but never underestimate the spiritual part. You can take tons of supplements and do all these things to help yourself, and you don't deal with the spiritual end of it, the unforgiveness, the fear, the anxiousness, the anger, the worry. You're taking all these supplements and eating perfectly, and all this is not going to be the 100% answer. It will help you, but it's not the 100% answer. Okay, so I believe that bipolar and depression and all that has a spiritual part of it, and that the other part of it is mostly an adrenal issue, because when your adrenal glands are not functioning properly, you're not sleeping when you're supposed to be sleeping at night. Your cortisol is high at that time. You're anxious. Your adrenaline is flowing. And then another time you're depressed and you have no energy. Well, a lot of times that's because your adrenal glands are going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, producing things, not producing them. And so the answer is not to take a psychotic medicine. Okay, the answer is spiritual, and then help your body recover. You want to heal the body. Your body does that on its own when you do the right things. So I'm not the healer. You're not the healer, but your body is designed to heal when you do the right things. So low blood pressure. Okay, so when you're very, very tired, low blood pressure can make you, just feel like you have no energy at all. And oftentimes that's because your adrenal glands are so pooped out and worn out. And, we have been in this rat race with all the internet news, and children are being born with weak adrenals and weak kidneys because it's been lifelong, it's been generations now of this technology and the stress of knowing everything that's going on in the world all the time. Poor food, genetically modified food, all those things. So we have generations of people who have weakened immune, weakened adrenals, weakened body, weakened kidneys, and it takes a little more now to try to fix that. So moms and dads, you should strengthen your body, detoxify yourself before you have children. It is safe to take care of yourself while you're pregnant. You don't want to take certain herbs and certain things while you're pregnant because they create bleeding and things like that. So you want to watch what herbs you are taking. But in general, herbs are very nutritious and helpful. So always read the labels. The labels will tell you if it's contraindicated for a specific thing, like being pregnant or high blood pressure. Now, sometimes they'll say contraindicated, like for instance, blood pressure, because if you're on blood pressure medicine, the herb might lower your blood pressure, and then if you're taking medicine on top of that, your blood pressure can go too low. So you always want, if you're on medications, you always want to watch your blood sugar, your blood pressure, watch yourself and work with your doctor as you start to lower those, as your blood pressure starts to lower, as your blood sugar starts to lower. Work with them and let them know, hey, my blood pressure was only this today, and it's been this way for the last 2 or 3 days. Should I continue to take as much blood pressure medicine as I'm on, or what should I do? And let them tell you how to navigate that. But anyway, when you have low blood pressure, you have low adrenaline, you have a tendency to have brain farts. And so that's my problem, is my blood pressure is usually low. And butcher's broom and prickly ash bark and licorice are good for that. They're good to help increase the circulation and get that blood flowing into the brain for that. A high blood pressure, the stress, and what happens is when you're under stress and you have those muscle contractions, you have actually muscle in your blood vessels also. It's a smooth muscle, and those can contract and that makes your blood vessels smaller. So your blood is having to push, or your heart is having to work harder to push the blood through, and there's not enough room, so the pressure is high. It's like a hose, like a water hose. So if you put your thumb over the end of it, right, you have water that spews out, and if your pressure inside is too strong, then it will cause a protrusion and maybe even a hole in the hose. So that's exactly what happens with blood vessels, and why you want to strengthen. Stop eating the foods that are causing damage to your blood vessels and start eating healing foods, which is your raw fruits and vegetables. Okay, so I wanted to share with you some of the herbs for, okay, let's just say you are a person who has high blood pressure. The two things that I would consider if I were you of taking, and I have, if you go to my Wellevate account, which the links are in the description below, there's a link for high blood pressure, there's a link for low blood pressure. Okay, so the high blood pressure protocol that I have has this particular supplement. Okay, it's a Adrenal Daily Balance, and this has a lot of B vitamins in it, and which B vitamins are very good for stress, right? They're good for blood sugar, and it has a lot of herbs that are good for stress. So there are certain herbs that are good for either high stress or for low energy, and ashwagandha and schisandra are both very good for that, and this has those in that. Another thing that is very good for that person who has high stress, this is a flower remedy, a Bach flower remedy. It's called Rescue Remedy, okay? It should not be a surprise to people at this day and age with all the technology and all the electromagnetic frequencies that we have in the world, and what they're telling us about, Bluetooth and all the things and all the different things that they're trying to get us to do, put a Bluetooth antenna in your brain, okay, and with electrical frequencies that are in your body, that's what an EKG does, is it is measuring the electrical frequencies to your heart, right? So your heart runs on that. So it should not be a surprise to you that there are electromagnetic frequencies in your body. And so these Bach flower remedies, the rescue remedies, they have different remedies, but rescue remedy is a great overall one. They're very, very safe. They're safe for anyone, child, animal, pregnant woman, anyone, whether you're taking medicine or anything, you can take these safely, okay? Because all they are is the energy. And they have taken certain flowers, and what they do is they put them in pure water, and they put them in the water and they sit it out. And these tend to be the rescue remedies, the Bach flowers remedies tend to be more for the emotional side of things. So if you are anxious, depressed, angry, all those things, the electromagnetic frequency that is in here will help you. Okay, like I said, I am a Christian, and I believe that everything, that Jesus is the answer, and that many times the things that are happening to us emotionally have us more often a spiritual component, but the spiritual and the physical work together. And if you're very weak at this point, things like this are helpful. So you put a few drops. When you first are starting with this, you're going to put some drops, 3 or 4 drops in a glass of water, and maybe sip on it all day, okay? And then you're going to sip on it all day. Maybe your next day you'll do that again, depending on how severe your symptoms are. And then after a while, you can start to taper off and just use as needed. So you just put a few drops, 3 or 4 drops in some water and drink it. And it doesn't have a flavor or anything, okay? So that would be for someone who deals with a lot of stress, has high blood pressure, and anxiety attacks, things like that, okay? Now we're gonna talk about the person who is sluggish, no energy, okay? Now I recommend this adrenal tonic. Okay, this has some of the same herbs because they work for either way. If you're low in energy, the ashwagandha will help you. If you're low in energy, the schisandra will help you. And then there's maca in here, which is an overall tonic. So they're all basically will work either way. Okay, so this is a really good one, and you take like a half a teaspoon to a teaspoon 2 or 3 times a day. Okay, and then that on top, if you have low blood pressure, let's say your blood pressure tends to run like 110 on the top or less, especially if you're like down to 90, you definitely need to have a glandular. Now you eventually want to get off a glandular, but they're very good because they're basically the glands, the meat part of the animal. So this would be adrenal gland, like Cure's like, but they help your body recover, and they do what your adrenal glands wouldn't be able to do. So I would recommend, the one that I have recommended in my protocol doesn't have has less than this. So I would start with 1. You want to watch your blood pressure, because if you get too much adrenaline into your system, you could go with high blood pressure. So I would start with 1. I think the ones that I put into the protocol only have 160. I'm not sure, 160 or 165. Take your blood pressure and see how you're doing, and then add another one. If you're still below 120 on the top, then you want to take another one, see how you feel, okay? And then after if your blood pressure is that low, you're probably going to need these for a while, but you can take a day off once in a while. I actually recommend taking a day off every once in a while and letting your body learn to work it, okay? So all the herbs and things are nutritious, but you don't want them to start being too dependent on that. So give them the nutrients, and then every once in a great while take some time off, and then as your body heals more and more and more, you can start tapering off more, okay? So, and then you can also use the rescue remedy, because oftentimes people with low blood pressure still have anxiety and stuff, and this will help you. This doesn't affect blood pressure directly like the herbs do. So this is just anxiety, anger, depression, things like that. This is great for. So please like and subscribe. Hit the bell so that you can know when I put up new videos, and share this with the people that you love that need real answers to their problems. I'm like your mother. I'm going to tell you the truth, whether you like it or not. Healing your body is not about taking one supplement for magnesium or this and that. You have to look at the body as a whole. It's a simple concept. However, we are trained to think that you have to know chemistry to fix your body, but that is not true. Eat your whole foods and your raw vegetables and your raw fruit. Those are the most energetic, healing foods you can do. I would not, if you're very low, I would not be eating any protein at this time. I would add protein later once your kidneys are filtering, and I would only add maybe once a week at the most. So you don't need that much protein, and too much of a protein diet will cause acids to build up in your body. So anyway, thank you guys. Please like and subscribe. Put your comments in below. If you have any questions, please let me know. And I hope you have a good day. Thank you.